Welcome back to America Decides. Well, just 12 hours after he won the Iowa caucuses, former President Donald Trump was in court for the start of his second defamation trial in New York City. E. Jean Carroll is seeking $10 million for reputational harm related to comments Trump made in 2019. CBS News campaign reporter Katrina Kaufman joins us now. She is also an attorney, so she's the perfect person to talk about all of this with. So, Katrina, walk us through what happened in the courtroom today.
So the day began with jury selection. Trump and E. Jean Carroll were both in the courtroom for that. So they were really going through the jurors and assessing them for the trial. One thing that's interesting about this jury is that it's an anonymous jury. So each of the jurors have numbers. They're not supposed to disclose their names. The judge encouraged them to give each other fake names, actually. And this is usually done in cartel cases. And also they're being brought in and out of the the courthouse underground from undisclosed locations. So there's a lot of secrecy surrounding these jurors. Ultimately, they chose 7 men and 2 women for the jury, and someone was calling it the UN of juries because there's a bunch of international people on it as well, a German, a Spanish man, and an Irish man.
Wow, that's really interesting. So explain what's at stake for Trump in this case and how this trial is different from his first defamation trial.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of confusion around this. Basically, this trial, it's all about damages. Trump, in the last trial, was already found liable for sexual abuse. He was already found liable for defamation. So the jurors are supposed to take those as facts. Now they're trying to determine, was Carroll harmed? How much should Trump compensate her for that harm? And then also, how much should he pay to make sure that he stops doing this? Because as Carroll's lawyer pointed out, even to this day, he's still posting defamatory posts about her. So it became clear during the opening arguments, which also happened today, that Carroll's lawyers are looking for a significant payment of damages in this case.
And of course, this all stems from an incident back in the 1980s where E. Jean Carroll says that the former president actually cornered her in a dressing room and raped her. Katrina, I'm wondering if you can explain, former President Trump doesn't have to be in the courtroom. He wasn't there for the first trial. He did choose to be there today. So what was it like? What was the level of tension in that courtroom? And do we expect that he'll actually testify in this case?
That's a great question. So Trump was sitting a couple rows behind E. Jean Carroll. I noticed that she never turned around to look towards him the whole time. He was in there for the first half of the day during jury selection. And they had said initially that he was going to testify in the trial. Now it's a little unclear. There have been a lot of restrictions put on his testimony should he decide to do so. The judge is allowing him to testify Monday if he wants. Trump was trying to get this trial postponed because of his mother-in-law's funeral on Thursday, and even today they were still trying to push for that postponement, and the judge was saying, I'm not preventing Trump from going to the funeral, and his lawyer said, no, but you're preventing him from being here. So it's, I think we're really going to have to see if he decides to take the stand, but I was told that Carroll is going to testify tomorrow.
Interesting that he chose to be there today, and makes you wonder how much time he's planning to spend in that trial in the coming weeks. Katrina Kaufman, thanks so much.